What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and it's been a little while since I talked Star Wars on the channel with all of the Naughty Dog and The Last of Us Part 2 stuff going on. But there was a story I missed out on that happened last week. I wanted to make sure I got my thoughts out there. For those of you who are new to the channel, you may not know that I am a huge fan of what's known as the Star Wars Expanded Universe, now known as Legends. It was all of the books, comic books, video games, all of the other material outside of the movies that Star Wars has been making for the past several decades. And it was all thrown in the trash by Disney in 2014 so they could create their own story. And we've seen how that worked with Disney Star Wars. You can see from back here, these are just some of the tons of novels, and I have comic books down below from the Star Wars Expanded Universe. But I wanted to give my take on this story. A lot of people were asking me my thoughts. Star Wars officially makes old Darth Plagueis backstory non-canon. Star Wars has officially rendered the previous history of Darth Plagueis non-canon, creating opportunities for brand new stories. And a lot of people have obviously been asking me my take, because Darth Plagueis is, one of my absolute favorite books. Here it is right here. Darth Plagueis, that's the cover with Plagueis, and then Palpatine kneeling before him. And it's called Darth Plagueis, but really it's also a story about Palpatine as well, and really Palpatine's origin. It's an incredible book. One of the best books in the entire expanded universe, written in 2008. I think that this is a good thing. This news is a good thing, and that may surprise a lot of people, because I don't want Darth Plagueis, I don't want any more Legends characters anywhere close to Disney Star Wars, because they cannot treat them the right way. And so we will get into that as we talk about this article. Star Wars has officially made the old backstory of Darth Plagueis non-canon. The character of Darth Plagueis was first mentioned in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and it was immediately apparent he was a key figure in Star Wars lore. According to Palpatine, he was a Sith Lord who had learned the secret of immortality, but was slain by his apprentice. That apprentice, of course, was Darth Sidious, aka Palpatine himself. Plagueis remained something of a mystery, undeveloped even by the old expanded universe, until Del Rey announced a novel revealing his backstory. Darth Plagueis was to be written by James Luceno and was supposed to release in 2008 before ultimately coming out in 2012. This drew a lot of attention from Star Wars fans because there were rumors Luceno had coordinated with George Lucas himself. And then, when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, all the expanded universe, all tie-in novels, games, and comics were declared non-canon. For all that's the case, though many believe Darth Plagueis should remain binding in lore. They pointed to the rumors of Lucas's involvement, and their case was made even stronger when Luceno returned for a new canon book named Tarkin and explicitly referenced events from Darth Plagueis. And yeah, it's true, he did talk to George Lucas. George Lucas was involved in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. I try to tell this to people. They always want to push back and say, oh, George didn't care about it. George didn't know anything about the Star Wars Expanded Universe. But of course, we know that George's plan for a sequel trilogy would have involved the Expanded Universe.
What are your hopes for the new Star Wars movies? What is your A New Hope for the new Star Wars movies? As they clearly are headed to a new franchise?
Well, I hope it's successful. I hope they do a great job. They've, the original saga was about the father, the children, and the grandchildren. And, I mean, that's not a secret to anybody. It's even in the novels and everything. But
so again, I'll have to keep using that clip for those of you who want to continue to deny it, just like in the books. It's not a secret, because we all know exactly what he's talking about if you read the books. E.K. Johnston's new canon novel, Queen's Peril, has finally settled the issue once and for all. A good portion of Johnston's novel is set immediately prior to the Star Wars prequel trilogy, including the same time period Luceno covered in Darth Plagueis. But Luceno presented Palpatine as still being an apprentice during the events. Maul was technically a Sith assassin recruited to the cause with Plagueis' blessing. And that is one of the coolest parts about Darth Plagueis. It really covers all the time leading up to episode 1. That's really what Darth Plagueis is all about, and about how they manipulated events to have a war start and to have Palpatine be able to take control. Plagueis was really so key in all of that, and if you read this book, your appreciation for the prequels will just go up that much further, realizing all the things that were going on. It gives you more history about Maul and the realization that Maul was never anything but a tool, right? He was never meant to be, anything more than just a murder machine, and that's how they used him. He has some great parts in this book as well. In contrast, Johnson portrays Darth Sidious as the definitive Dark Lord of the Sith through the whole story. There's no way to reconcile these two books. Darth Plagueis should therefore be considered non-canon. And to me, it's like, of course. You know, as soon, I know they're trying to set the stage. Oh, well, this is why some people argue it should be canon. Listen, Disney has shown time and time again that they do not respect the lore. They do not respect the stories. Every time they pull an expanded universe character and try to use inspiration or a nod of appreciation, they ruin it. Look at what they did to Grand Admiral Thrawn in Rebels. Are you kidding me? Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of the greatest villains in Star Wars history on the screen or on the page. And they took him and they cucked him. They made him a bitched out version of himself. Grand Admiral Thrawn in Rebels is pathetic. The fact that they would do that to that character is disgusting to me. And that's why I want them as far away from any characters that are EU as possible. Keep Legends in Legends. If you want to do your own thing, then do your own thing, just like you said, Disney. Darth Plagueis' backstory may be a mystery once again, but there's another sense in which Lucasfilm has demystified the Sith Lord. Tie-ins surrounding Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, of course. The Rise of Skywalker, which they're still rewriting to this day, have confirmed the secret he discovered. He had apparently learned the art of essence transfer, surviving death by moving his spirit from one body to another. This was how Palpatine survived his death in Return of the Jedi, practicing the skill his master had learned all those years ago. This had another unexpected side effect. Lucino's Darth Plagueis novel didn't just tell the story of Plagueis, it also revealed Palpatine's backstory. Now, all that can be dismissed as non-canon as well, meaning the greatest Lord of the Sith, the one so powerful he brought the entire Force out of balance, requiring the Chosen One to restore it, is shrouded in secrecy once more. It will be fascinating to see whether Star Wars eventually chooses to tell Palpatine's new canon story. And that is one of the things... That is one of the things that so many people misunderstand about the Force and about Anakin as the Chosen One, and about Star Wars in general. And this book does such a great job explaining it. You hate midichlorians? If you hate the way that midichlorians are explained and that they're used, this book explains midichlorians. The idea that, oh, the Force is out of balance, that whole thing is explained in this book. It's explained that Sidious and Plagueis, through their experimentations with midichlorians in order to try to control life, that is what made the Force out of balance. That is what imbalanced the Force and made the Force create something else. It made the Force create Anakin Skywalker. It wasn't like Plagueis did not intentionally create Anakin Skywalker. It was them. It was Plagueis and Sidious manipulating the Force, trying to do things with midichlorians they were not supposed to, that made the Force react. The Force struck back and created a being known as the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker. That is all explained in this book. So many good things, and that is why I want Disney to stay away from it. When people were tagging me in this, can you believe they decanonized Plagueis? I said good. Disney Star Wars is absolute garbage right now. The High Republic, I'm in the middle. I'm about to read the first chapter of that is out online. We'll see what my thoughts about it are. But Disney Canon is not a place that I want my beloved characters from the Star Wars Expanded Universe. I want it separate. I would love to see the Expanded Universe Legends continued in that timeline, but you can't make these things fit. They just don't. Disney Star Wars has wrecked everything associated with canon and lore. Keep it separate. I hear people, oh, I would love to see Mara Jade in Disney canon. No, you wouldn't. They would ruin her. She doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. I am glad that Darth Plagueis is no longer canon, that they can no longer take that and corrupt it and fuck it up and mess it up. That I'm personally happy. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Make sure you smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.